And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. As always, glad to have you. If you're here tonight in the chat, make sure to say hi. Let us know your thoughts on the first episode of Full Swing, which we'll be getting into tonight. Welcome, of course, to our viewers in Manitoba, in Saskatchewan, Alberta, Auntie Kim. I got my hat on forwards this year. Cut some
What do
noise.
we got going on now?
And in Newfoundland, maybe overseas. Do we have any overseas listeners?
Bryce.
Anyways.
Bryce every time, man.
Bryce, hopefully you're here tonight. We'll see you guys in 30 seconds.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. As usual, my name is Drums, and I'm joined by the brothers behind King Golf. We got a lot to cover this week. We got a whole shitload of stuff going on in the golf world, so let's get to it. As we always do, we'll tee it up north with our boy Reg. What's going on, big guy?
Same old shit, except the big cat's in the field tomorrow. That's big. Christ.
Huge.
It actually felt like he retired. It's kind of weird when somebody said he's playing. It was honestly like it's one of those things. Like when he's played this event, we'll be listening in the near future if he's going to keep playing. But it's just been so long since he's played. It just feels like it felt like he was retired, honestly. So I'm fucking pumped to watch him this weekend. Man.
Exciting. Sure. What's going on in Rockland? We'll keep it quick here.
Top of the evening to you, ladies and gents. We have a lot to cover tonight. It's our third week in a row with an agenda. Can you believe it? We're episode 115. So the first 112 episodes were by the seat of our pants. We got her together now a little bit, I would say. Rossman is peaceful as always. She's beautiful out here. Windier than hell. And it's mid-Feb. So we only got, 2 months till the Masters or less? We're in the home stretch, baby.
1 month till golf season, I think. March 15th.
Ooh. We got 50 days to Masters.
Holy
50
shit.
days. So less than 2 months.
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what else will. So Drums, what's up in Brandon? You excited to come to Rossman?
Yeah, man. Super looking forward to this weekend. It's a 2-month delay on our Friendsmas, so we'll take it. It's probably nicer weather than it would have been, so we'll definitely take it. We got Reggie along this time too, so
hell yeah,
a great weekend. Just got we had first gymnastics class today.
No,
absolute chaos.
Sorry, I don't mean that's funny though. Gymnastics. I can only imagine like they're just probably just buzzing around it.
They're just buzzing, yeah, and like the instructors trying to get them to do all these like somersaults and backflips over things and stuff, and it's just like I'm just gonna scream at the top of my lungs with my hands over my head and run around. So whatever works.
That's got to be so. You got to have so much patience to be able to teach that.
Yeah, not me.
Not me either. I don't think.
No.
I think you just kind of got to let it happen though. After a couple of times, you just be like, "Fuck it, don't care."
Think so?
Yeah, and like the instructor for the most part was like, "If you can do it, do it. If not, who gives a shit? We got your money. I don't care what you do."
True. That's very true.
This could be a long night. We're 4 minutes in here and one beer down. So this was in the basement. It wasn't even in the fridge. So you know how like room temperature beers, how fast they go down?
It was never in the plans. It was never in the cards. But I am wrecked.
But here we are.
That's how George's going to be at the end of the epi.
Yeah, I might have to turn my cam off and go pour another beer right away. Okay, so as mentioned, we have a ton of stuff going on tonight. Too much, some might even say. But before we go any further, everybody watching right now, everybody listening later, take 2 seconds, like the video. I honestly don't know if it does anything at all, but it's
How hard is it?
it's worth a shot, right?
How hard is it to do if you're listening already?
Zero hard. So we got a couple things to start with, but first we have to say a happy birthday to Chez's son. We don't know his name, but we saw it on Facebook. It's probably good that we don't know his name for privacy reasons.
I'm pretty sure it's just Chez Jr.
Happy 10th birthday to Chez Jr. Cheers.
Cheers.
8 more years and we have a few of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers to a 10-year-old.
He said 8 more years to be having some of these. He did cover his own tracks.
I covered. And second part here, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Super Bowl, which a few people tuned into on the weekend, I think.
Apparently.
Not myself, but
what did you guys watch at all?
Nothing.
You didn't watch the game at all? Oh shit, that's incredible.
I was actually watching golf. I was watching the golf. But it was after that, right?
No? Yeah, it was after that.
Yeah.
It was after the golf.
I hit my max. I was pretty hungover Sunday too, and I hit my max for couch for Sunday. So I don't know. I mean, I don't get too horny over the Super Bowl. Do you guys? You guys like it? Is it a big thing?
I watch it every year, like every year. But it's just like a tradition in town here that we go over to somebody's house and crush appies and.
That's fair. Yeah, same thing. I probably watched maybe 2 quarters plus the halftime. I'm not a huge football guy, but I think I might make an attempt next year to like pick a team, get into it, and like start following it. But
I think it's dangerous. I don't do it either, but and you're the same as me where you track like everything to do with hockey and golf maybe. And I joined a baseball fantasy league a couple of years ago, probably like 5 years ago now. And I've been like hooked on baseball since then. So everybody says to join a fantasy football league and you'll be like it's like a whole nother, like you don't necessarily like the NFL, but you just like track so hard to see your guys because it's like way more interactive, I guess, than a hockey one.
Yeah, so, I think that's what my plan was to do.
I don't know. Like it's dangerous, I think. It's honestly dangerous, in my opinion.
It sounds easy to get hooked on for sure. I've said that a couple times, but I would personally rather be hooked on phonics. We got Josh Bevan in the house tonight, the mayor of Hecla. I don't think I've ever seen Josh in the chat before. Welcome, buddy.
Welcome.
Are you playing in the GP tourney Melon Rigo? Is that the one we were supposed to promote there?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it for sure. I don't know yet.
I know what I'm thinking about. Arby's. We got lots of ads on the go tonight.
Anyway, back to the Super Bowl.
Too quick. Hey?
Back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Crazy game, though.
Crazy game. Of course, I had my money on the Eagles because I always bet on the team that loses, so that's good. Mahomes is incredible, man. Mahomes is.
Man, it was like two completely different games, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat domination and then utter domination by Patty Mahomes. What do you think they gave him in between?
Oh, I don't know, something.
Or was he just excited after Rihanna and he was just ready to go after that?
Maybe she made him an offer. I guess she's pregnant. I shouldn't say that. It's a bad thing to say. Yeah, but to do that like with a high ankle sprain, I mean, lots of guys miss sports for a long time with a high ankle sprain. Now, obviously, he's taped up with all the best the world can offer, and he's got all the painkillers that you can imagine probably. But still, to perform like that under pressure with a sprained ankle like that and run like you did, like it's incredible. I'd like to know, and I don't think there's any way that we will ever know, but like if they could show the total amount of money exchanged that day, and not only that, like how much money Vegas lost due to the Chiefs being down at halftime. Man, they were paying plus 340 at halftime.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's the Chiefs. So I don't know why I didn't bet on it, but I was just stubborn and I wanted the Eagles, so I didn't. But like if you put $100 down on that, I mean, it's $340 that you're betting on Mahomes to do what Mahomes does, right? And they would have lost a lot of money, I think, there.
So what's that for him? 3 and 4 years?
I don't know what it is. He's insane, man.
It's crazy. Like he's on Brady. He's on track with Brady right now. Maybe even better.
That's so crazy to think about.
Nuts.
Has there not been people talking about the fact that some of these leagues like the NFL are rigged in a sense? Like, is that possible that was or no? Like, I didn't watch it, but what?
Yeah, I
Is
don't
it
know.
possible that it could have been or not?
I don't know. Like, I know what you're saying. It's absolutely. It's got to be next to impossible to have that happen. You know how many people have to keep it a secret?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
But I mean, like you literally couldn't script the game better.
But
Other
no,
than
this isn't my opinion though. Like, I'm not making this
no,
up.
I know,
There's
I
been
know.
some credible people who have been talking about this lately.
Oh,
What was
that's
his
good
name?
shit,
Arian Foster? Is that who said that first?
I forget who it was, but
Yeah, so he used to play in the league. It was, what did he say? Just everybody has a script, like the NFL sends it out.
Really?
There would be a
Some of the
lot.
memes that came after that were amazing.
That would be a lot of mouths to keep shut for sure. But it does happen at different industries, different levels of stuff. But Cam says Patty Mahomes 2 in 4 years.
Still
Is
not
that
bad.
good?
Still pretty good. 3 out of 4 would be a lot better, but 2 out of 4 pretty good.
Did you catch the halftime show at least, George?
No.
Oh God.
Which is sad because Rihanna's like been my biggest crush since I've been 18 years old.
I told everybody at the party that if you were out at a party, you would have to grab the couch pillow at that point in time. But
yeah, she's big time up there for me too. I think she's probably my number one.
I've heard lots of mixed reviews on her performance. I've heard it was the worst ever and the best ever. So what was it?
I definitely can't see best ever.
Better than last year?
No, fuck no.
No, I didn't think so either. It's a pretty high bar.
Like,
all the rappers.
I would just say it was okay. Like, it wasn't great. It wasn't horrendous either. Like, she's got a huge catalog of good songs, but it's not going to be horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's pregnant. She, like, her breath wouldn't be there for singing, so like you could tell like it was pretty dubbed over. There wasn't a whole hell of a lot of ass shaking or anything like that you'd expect like from Rihanna. So it was a bit of a like I don't know, like if I was grading it, I might give it like a C.
And that's saying something from a Rihanna fan.
Yeah.
I was kind of just left almost disappointed by it. But at the same time, she is pregnant, so there's not a whole hell of a lot she can do while I don't know.
Do you take a chance of getting pregnant when you know you are going to be performing at the Super Bowl? Like,
well, I mean,
heard a comment, Rihanna?
Yeah, figure it out. You're a billionaire. I'm thinking you can afford that.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I liked it. I didn't. You always forget until somebody's performing how many good songs they have.
And she has a lot.
Holy shit, man! She just kept throwing bangers out, and I thought she was good. The marshmallows were weird, like the dancing marshmallows were definitely a touch. But I thought she was really good. And do we really care if somebody's lip syncing? Like honestly, it's their songs anyways. They're there in person. If it's like an acoustic concert, or like a guy like Zach Bryan, Bryan's not going to lip sync. But if it's a performer like that, do we really give a shit if they're lip syncing?
No, I feel like if they're actually singing, like it'd be a shitty, almost
awful. You're like breathing heavy. And
well, it depends who it is, right? Like Chris Stapleton at the start of the game.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Phenomenal.
Like he can't lip sync. You can't fake that.
Right.
But like if they're dancing, running around, performing, like
yeah, I'm with you.
Who cares?
Did you see what our boy Joey Pomp tweeted out the other day after the performance? I think we talked about this last year or the year before, but the performers aren't paid anything. Mm-hmm. Usually they pay out of their own pocket to help put on the performance. So essentially she's just doing an ad for herself, right? So after I think this was Tuesday this came out. So she was the #1 streamed artist globally. More than 118 million views from the performance. 17 songs in the top 40, and gained 3 million Instagram followers, and searches for her Fenty Beauty makeup line up 833%. So she had essentially ad space for that.
Yeah. That's a big
makes
deal.
sense when you think of it that way.
And I bet Fenty paid a nice portion of that too.
Well, no, she didn't have to pay anything,
She
right? Well, if she whatever she put on for the performance, right?
right.
Yeah, she is Fenty, right?
Yeah.
That's how she made her bill.
Right. That's her last name, right? Her actual last name?
Robin Fenty. Now it's
She's nice.
Robin Rocky.
Oh
Isn't it?
no, is his name actually as soon as possible, Rocky? Somebody said that on the weekend. I think it might have been Teach maybe. So is his name actually as soon as possible? Or I thought that was good shit.
Okay, enough football. Let's move to
yeah.
golf. We got lots of golf to talk about. Drums, tell us about the mullet kid at the hockey game.
Okay, did you see this?
Yeah.
The best. I saw the fight first, and then I saw like the second clip that came out. So the second clip that came out, the second clip that came out, it was like an in between, or coming into the game, and all of a sudden, like it's got this kid, and it's in like slow mo, and he's waving this mullet on the camera, and it's like this majestic being with this mullet that he's got, and he like winks at the camera, and then it cuts to the clip of him trolling the. I think what he was doing was actually trying to sit in seats that weren't his, and then he was getting confronted about it. Drops an M-bomb on this old guy, and then the slowest right hook ever gets him in the button. Though. It was big, but it was slow as hell.
Oh yeah, he
looked like a big paw.
Yeah. Buttons him, and he goes yard sale, and then his chick comes flying in, and she's Hail Marrying, and he just goes after the big guy. Big guy just grabs him, pins him down, and just says, "Stay there, little boy." It's like, what a turn of events for this kid.
Just humiliated him. Hey?
But he had an unreal glory moment to start the game, flashing the mullet, and then gets KO'd.
That was unreal.
Yeah,
you have to love that shit.
If he doesn't get KO'd there, he's posting that on Instagram. It's his pinned video for life. And now he probably can't because it'll always be associated with him getting KO'd afterwards.
So good. You have to love to see him get knocked out like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like just with the shit he's saying, and then that guy just strokes him. Just like falls like straight back.
Some guys just look like they need a punch in the face, and he definitely had that kind of face.
Yeah, he needed 100%. One.
Yep.
He called for it.
Oh geez, no, never mind. I was getting ahead of myself. I was looking at the wrong part there.
So we have a couple shows to talk about here to catch up on, but first, I will mention the Hardy thing for the third episode in a row. But Drums admitted this week that he actually listened to a couple of the songs and enjoyed them. So shout out to Hardy, and maybe even more impressive than that, our buddy Cam Taves in the chat. Not a huge. I think Cam's like an old school country guy, and he said that he even enjoyed the album. So Hardy, worth checking out, and Dal also loved it. I'm speaking on behalf of other people here, but this is just secondhand information. So, Drums, any thoughts on Hardy quick?
Like I said, I maybe listened to 4 songs. The country ones weren't my jam. I was a little more into the screamo. That in-between song was kind of the one that I liked the most. I forget the name. So.
Mockingbird and the Crow.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That was a good tune.
Yeah, that was my favorite one for sure. But I haven't listened to all the slow ones either.
You haven't?
No.
Oh man, you gotta listen to Beer and Screen. Both really good songs. Cam, if you're still in the chat, what's your favorite tune? So 2 weeks ago, Drums suggested in his segment suggested that we all watch a movie, Phantom of the Opera, or Phantom of the Open.
We could do Phantom of the Opera next. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Phantom of the Opera. That's why I wasn't sure what the hype was. Where's the golf?
What the fuck is going on with this man?
But the funny thing about the story is that Reggie and I both watched it, ready to comment on it this episode. Drums hasn't watched it yet.
I watched, like I said, I prefaced it with caution because my dad has the worst taste in movies
You
ever.
did say that.
Yeah.
So I was skeptical. I did watch the trailer, and that kind of sealed it for me. I'm not putting any effort into watching this movie. So you
Reggie,
guys
what would you rate it
break,
out of 10?
break it down here.
Admittedly, Jor and I both fell asleep watching it. I fell asleep watching it the first time, and then the second time, I don't know what happened. And I would rate it like a 4, maybe, not maybe less. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It's just
Out of
too
10? 4 out of
cheesy.
10?
It's shitty acting. That guy's a shitty actor, and it's all just kind
Yeah.
of weird. Like lots of it's just so weird. It's a weird movie.
I think the story like behind it's way better than whatever.
I think when he's actually on the course though, and hitting like shitty shots, like he's hitting some of the worst shots you've ever seen in your life, but still making like sevens on holes. Like there's no way he was making sevens.
Yes, that is a good point, Reggie. I was actually going to say that because, like, he shot what 105 on like a PGA course or something.
Like he shot like 250. The shots he was hitting.
Like the shots he hit went like 5 feet, and he was like 10 putting greens, but somehow he ended up shooting 105. Like they over exaggerated how bad he was, and it was just like way too much.
They over exaggerate how bad like 105 isn't. I guess it isn't an open qualifier, but it's like
Yeah, but like I could shoot that, and I wouldn't be hitting anywhere near the shots that they were hitting. Right? Like I could go out and play a normal round and probably fire a hundy at the Open.
When he has a birdie putt and makes a double. Like he has like a 10-foot birdie putt and makes a double.
But it also wasn't like the actual Open, right? It was just qualifying.
Right. Yeah, he never got in.
Pretty
And he
cool how
showed up in
Sevy was
different
there.
disguises and shit. I don't know. I would recommend it if you're bored and you just want to watch a little bit of golf. Like it's probably worth checking out for some entertainment.
Okay,
But
hang on.
don't- What?
I only watched maybe like 60% of it then. Did he go back and try to golf again in it?
I fell asleep as well. I don't know the end of it. I might revisit it sometime.
Rob says it got 86% from critics on Rotten Tomato. I
What does that
seen
mean?
that earlier when I was looking it up, which is hilarious because it doesn't sound like it might be a 68, not an 86.
I don't know. Rotten Tomatoes is usually pretty accurate.
Not the critics. Not the critics.
Drums is going Yager instead of Kucherov. 68 instead of 86. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch it, Drums, and report back.
I probably will pass.
Josh says "Kill Shit Till I Die" is a banger. It is a banger. I also loved what's the other one I like? Not in the Country Anymore. Those are both really good. Like
I like that song.
country rock, not
That was
like
my favorites.
too far.
Crazy.
Which one?
That was that Not in the Country No More.
And Cam's favorite tune was "Here Lies Country Music." Yeah, and he's talking about how country music almost died because they almost went too far pop, but it was just a dream.
One last thing in housekeeping. It's not on the agenda. I ordered this book on Amazon. It finally came in. Not finally. It took like a week. But I've been talking about ordering it for a while. It's The 4 Foundations of Golf, How to Build a Game That Lasts a Lifetime. And it's by John Sherman, the guy I always quote on here on Twitter.
Ooh, nice.
So I'll be reading this hopefully soon. I mean, hopefully I have a better success rate at this one than my previous books. But
we'll be seeing about that.
This is basically, it's just I could read the back, but I'll save it for another day maybe.
No, read it.
It's a lot of reading.
Josh said, in the meantime, Josh says highly suggests Zen Golf. Zen Golf, probably the best golf book ever written. Also Zen Putting and, what's that other one? There's another similar book. Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. Those are my 3 favorite golf books.
I actually read that one.
Did you? It's not very long either, eh?
No, that's why I finished it. This says, are you struggling to take your golf game to the next level? Learn the philosophy that has helped thousands of players worldwide lower their scores and improve their relationship with golf. It says swing tips come and go, but foundational golf skills last forever. Whether you're a complete beginner or advanced player, the 4 foundations of golf will give you the blueprint to build a stronger, long-lasting game. In this book, you'll learn how to become a happier, more fulfilled golfer through expectation management. Learn a strategic framework a golfer of any level can quickly adopt. Pick smarter targets with every club in your bag and watch your scores drop overnight. how to practice efficiently, get detailed step-by-step instructions on methods that will increase your skills, and finally transfer your practice range game to the course. Improve your swing without thinking about your technique. The secrets to increasing your distance used by touring pros and elite amateurs, and learn mental techniques to calm yourself, build routines, and stand over the ball with more confidence. So I think it's basically everything I touch on every week on this podcast, right?
So is his Twitter account based on that book then, or has he written the book since Twitter?
His whole he's got a whole brand. I was actually on the website because I was trying to look up more stroke savers, and I ended up on his. I think it's practical-golf.com, and that's just his whole everything about what he preaches is just practical golf, not anything too crazy. So it's basically what I tried to form every stroke saver I had on.
Yeah, right, because you don't want to be too technical on here.
Right.
Wow, that looked like a thick book.
Yeah, it is. Like I'll report back next year how it was.
Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like a textbook.
20-30 goals.
I'll tackle it.
Okay. One last piece of non-golf here. Sorry, but I wanted to ask you guys a question because something happened today at this house and made me think. I remember growing up, and grandma's Ukrainian grandma did some stuff that I was like, "Why are you doing that stuff? Like, it seems really weird to do." But I wanted to ask you guys, like with Tupperware and shit like that, like reusing sour cream containers, all that kind of stuff. So what would you guys say the most resourceful thing that you currently do would be? Resourceful in terms of like, well, you know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Do you just don't do anything, just throw everything out and
Well, I mean, like we compost.
do you?
Yeah.
Like just in the backyard?
Well, just like with the compost bin.
Like a green bin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. I thought you actually had like a compost pile outside.
Oh, no. Like we
Right?
have a compost bucket in the house and then throw that
Oh.
shit in the.
That's pretty resourceful. Reggie?
I would say this year, the most resourceful thing for sure would be canning. Like we have so many. I mean, that's all I snack on really is beans, pickles, and carrots. And actually, we picked all the raspberries. I shouldn't say we because I wasn't home when they did it. But Easter, mom picked all the raspberries and froze them into about 20 bags and froze a bunch of beans and jam and stuff like that. So that's probably the most resourceful thing that I do. Is that what you meant, or you want, or different?
No, those are good. Cam says he brings his own store or bag into the store.
I don't. You guys?
No. Oh, I do every time, and when I forget it, it drives me nuts to have to pay 15 cents for a bag.
What's yours?
Well, so I was cooking Spence Bros pizza today, and I've done this a couple times now, but I use the oven or the oven, less and less nowadays because I use the air fryer for almost every meal. But after the pizza was cooked, I just left the oven door open just to reuse the energy that had already been like the heat. Is that a weird thing to do or not?
Yeah.
It's actually, is it?
It's
like
if you don't have kids and no animals or anything, like
kind of, yeah, it's free heat and you're just kind of wasting energy otherwise. And maybe the story behind that is like part of like the Bitcoin stuff is really utilizing energy as efficiently as possible. So now I think about things like otherwise that heat would just go to complete waste. And you take electricity to generate that. And if you just let it die there, it doesn't do anything else for you besides cook the food. So if you just leave the oven door open, you just get some, it's not anything crazy, but I thought it'd be something maybe somebody else could put into use sometime.
Yeah, I like that.
You're welcome, Drums.
I'd have a dog or a kid in the oven, like
or a midget.
Yeah.
A dog.
So let's get into the golf chat now. Reggie, do you have a weekly worm for us?
I do.
Oh, and do you have a name for it? I just kind of named it that for shits and gigs.
I like the weekly worm or the worm report.
Okay. briefly tell us maybe what it's about and then share what you got.
Yeah, I think we've shared on our Twitter accounts, and I'm sure most people who listen to this podcast are familiar by now with the Worm Tracker account. Basically, he's the guy who kind of supported AC off the start when Team Canada maybe didn't, and AC and a few other guys. I'm probably going to do a bad job explaining how it is. There is a story on Score Golf about him. There was a couple business guys actually from Calgary that saw these guys playing at their course and wanted to make sure that they had all the same chances all the guys on the national team had. So they went out of their way and went out of their own pocket to help these guys out. So now they have a whole worm farm basically, and this guy, he tracks them every week. I think
Why are they called worms though?
I think it's something that the guy who actually passed, I think his slogan was the early worm gets the birdies. And I think that's where they all got it from. So, yeah, I've been chatting with the guy. We got some cool stuff going on with them. So I've been chatting with the guy quite a bit behind the account now. And I just mentioned to him how I'd like to cover one of them per week kind of on here. And then I think maybe the plan eventually would be to maybe get a few of them on here for interviews and see where they're at in their careers and their steps to hopefully get to where AC is now and maybe even the PGA and beyond. So this guy this week, his name is Brady McKinley. He's playing college golf at Utah Valley. He's got 4 wins in Division I this year. 4 in a row. He said this week will be a weaker field. This is what he said last week. It'll be a weaker field this year, but he is going for his 4th win in a row, and he did get it. So
wow.
He's the weekly worm, Brady McKinley. He also won the Alberta Amateur last year. So, I mean, the guy's obviously a stud. So, Brady McKinley Alberta? Is the name. Yeah, he's from Alberta.
4 Div 1 wins in a row, like flat out, like he won the tournament?
Yeah. But I think there's different tournaments obviously going on.
Yeah.
The worms will all be Canadian, yes, I believe, Cam. I think lots of it too is that the Western Canada guys don't get a whole lot of coverage nationally either. So he kind of wants to promote that. So when I told him that I was thinking about doing this, and obviously this is the first week, I didn't dive in a whole lot. I know that he won 4 in a row, and I looked him up a bit today. He did win the Alberta Amateur last year, and I think it'll be cool to kind of it's basically the farm system of golf is what we're going to be trying to learn. And then when a guy comes up like Pendrith did and stuff like that, it'll be cool to
AC
look back on. AC, yeah, and we touched on him all the way through, and now he's got his permanent European Tour card and it's her TP card, I guess, and it's cool. So I'm hoping a couple of these guys pan out. Like I said, it'd be really cool to have them on the show here. Maybe get hooked up through them and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think it'll be pretty cool just to profile one of them per week.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's University of Utah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Utah Valley. I shouldn't say profile one per week. It'll just be if more than one too good on the weekend. Just talk about what happened on the worm farm.
Yeah, because if he wins again this week, then we'll probably go for number 5.
And we'll talk about him again next week. Absolutely.
I like it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I love it. Reggie, I'll let you catch your breath here. And I don't know if you guys have been, if you saw this on the agenda or not, but I was thinking about this today. Somebody was talking about different swings and stuff. I forget what it was on, but they mentioned Matt Wolff. And I hadn't heard the name Matt Wolff. It seemed like for a year or two, he was on everything, like Twitter. He was in the hunt for everything. And then I think he had some mental health issues, correct? And do you guys know where he's at now?
Live.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes a lot more sense why I haven't heard of him then.
Mm-hmm. I meant to text you that today, but I thought maybe you knew that and you just wanted to touch on that. But
yeah, I thought maybe you had more to. No, you're right. I think he had a lot of mental health struggles, and that I think it started with his game, and then kind of snowballed for a while, and then he was kind of bringing it back before LIV started, and then jumped ship with LIV. I believe he did note kind of those type of issues and kind of maybe stepping away from the spotlight. But making a shitload of cash in the meantime, wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah. Cash flow. I'm sure you guys have heard the phrase before, but money usually just amplifies whatever you're feeling. So I don't know, like money's not going to cure his mental health issues. And I doubt that he went after that to try to do that, but who knows? I mean, hopefully, did you guys see that LIV Golf promo ad that they did with the different teams? You didn't like?
I hate LIV. I honestly
It's
hate
the
everything.
cheesiest shit that's ever existed.
It's awful.
All of them.
It's so
It's
unfortunate.
so weird. It's so weird.
I don't know. I honestly didn't hate
Like,
it. But
You didn't hate it? Oh, I thought it's so cringy. Like I couldn't
get-
imagine
yeah.
being the players. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
it is. But that's
It's like they've completely sold themselves to them, so now they just have to do whatever the hell they want them to do. Like they didn't have to do that cheesy bullshit on the PGA.
I could see.
well,
that.
I mean, for 100 schmil, I'll be
I know, but
dancing like an idiot too.
so tired of that tour. I want it to just burn down.
It's hilarious to me, but yeah.
I don't think you can burn down a tour.
It's gay, but tell me this. No, we don't need to get into the LIV PGA. But
Yeah, you can.
do you guys actually like when you say that you support it and that you support that they went and took the money and they did this? I don't care about that. But the tour is a joke. The whole everything around it is a joke. Everything that they're doing,
All right.
is it?
No, I honestly don't think it is. Like people were saying that they didn't make any money last year, but name a business that has. Do you guys know how old Airbnb is? They turned profit for the first time last year. Like I just feel like there's too much of that stuff, that narrative, just like trying to shit on it. That okay, obviously they didn't make money. That nobody's has their TV rights yet. They're brand new.
And they gave out $1 billion.
I don't think you base anything off of 1 year. Like, yeah, I'll be the first to admit it wasn't very good to watch, or like I wasn't like tuning in every Sunday to watch. But
They don't
we
play
also
Sunday.
thought that they were dead, and then all of a sudden they were just had a full tour there, and it was the first year. So I don't know. I mean, like, I know what you're saying, but
it just seems like a Mickey Mouse tour.
Wow, it
Like
is.
you look at the Genesis this weekend at the Riv. Like it's like, I mean, it's the who's who is there and all the best players, and it's like that's what you want to watch. I don't think there would ever be a LIV event like that in the regular season.
But we don't know that yet, though. Like I just feel like they're still kind of getting their stride with things. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. I haven't really enjoyed it overly so far, but
do you
it's
think
the
that
first year?
Do you think that they really? I don't know. We've talked about this so much. It's like beating a dead horse. But
Yeah,
do
we
you
just
think they even
repeat the
got
same
anyone?
argument.
What do you mean?
Like, besides Cam Smith, I could give two shits about who's on that tour. Nobody else.
DJ.
Yeah.
Who cares about DJ? He's been irrelevant for.
Phil's I don't think DJ's been irrelevant. Phil's pretty entertaining to watch.
DJ's just such a whatever. So 3 guys. No, 2 guys. I'm not even going to give you Phil. Phil's a fucking idiot. I would say Cam Smith and DJ maybe. Koepka, DeChambeau, Reed. Like they can all kick rocks, honestly. Like, and that's their big guys. I don't know. It's just.
I just think we need to give them a little bit of time to see what happens with it. And also, we've talked about the fact that they've actually made some good improvements for the players of the PGA already in terms of
true.
their purses and shit. So, okay, Reggie,
Yeah.
what happened with Thomas Peters' tweet? Where the hell is he? DP?
It's a weird tweet. He's on the PGA.
DP. No.
Is he
I thought
DP? So he's not on the PGA?
I've only seen him at like Ryder Cup and shit.
Huh. He's been on the PGA for like years.
So what was his tweet?
He said, "Sad to miss my favorite tournament of the year because well as number 34 in the world, I just couldn't get in. PGA at PGA Tour Genesis Invitational." So he didn't get invited this week.
So obviously he's not on tour, right?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Is Genesis just an invite-only tourney?
I'm guessing.
Could be. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, and you might be right because he probably wouldn't call it the PGA if he wasn't on the PGA.
Currently plays on the European Tour.
All right, so what's the problem?
I thought those guys, if you're like under top 50, though, you automatically get like exemption to every tournament on pretty much any tour.
Former tour. Okay. It says former PGA Tour player, so he's off the PGA now.
So,
but he's 34 in the world.
He's number 34 in the world or 34 in PGA rankings? Because that would be different too, right?
In the world.
He couldn't be ranked on the PGA if he's not on the PGA.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not sure where his gripe is.
Wow. And honestly, how accurate are those world golf rankings anymore? Like DJ isn't even in the top 50. And people are making a big deal out of it. They don't get any points anymore for playing on the LIV.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, they're going to slide down the leaderboard.
You know what? I didn't get any points in the Leafs game tonight, so same thing.
I don't know. Yeah, who knows?
I wonder how it works. I'm just trying to look here, but
maybe provide an update next week.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the waste management. What an event. There was lots of stuff that happened. Way too much to even cover today. We had the streaker. What else, Drums? What else we have?
Streaker, Scotty Scheffler. I think we were chatting about him a couple of weeks ago on here. I think I was kind of expecting him to have like a fall off the cliff season for what he did last year, like just trying to live up to what he did. But holy smokes, I forgot how good that guy is. Like phenomenal, like amazingly clutch, just super steady Eddie. It just, that plus the Netflix show just reminded me again how good Scotty Scheffler was, because just the mentioning of him and stuff. But yeah, he absolutely had an unreal tournament.
Guys like that are the worst to play against. Like the guys that never really get into too much trouble will drop a 30-foot bomb when they need to.
Yeah, clutch, right? Like making an amazing bunker shot when you're almost out of it. And then everything he did was just super clutch, and just he's basically picking up from last year again. Because was this the start of his streak last year? Yeah.
Reggie, your thoughts? What? How do you feel about Scotty? You like him? You're a fan.
I didn't get to watch it enough this weekend, honestly, to really comment. I just know how he is, and I was tracking along because, it's what I was doing on Sunday. I was tracking Sunday morning, and then we actually went sledding up into the Ducks for like 3 hours, so I didn't have any service up there. And the last thing I was thinking about was the PGA. But when I got back and checked, I actually got back to the end so I could track the end. And it seemed like Taylor. So Scheffler actually had a putt outside Taylor on 16.
Yeah. And
made it, and then Taylor missed his.
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
Bit, I think, by at least double.
That's what those top guys do. Like they just make those putts. That's what down the stretch. We've talked about that so much. Who are we talking about that never makes those? Was it Louis?
Yeah, Louis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Louis gone. Louis a big hit. Louis a big loss. Completely forgot he's playing
on the cleeks, I think.
Hey?
He's on the cleeks.
Yeah, sorry. He's a cleek player. I forgot about that.
I like Bubba's team name, actually, the Range Goats.
Yeah. Okay, Bubba's the only one that I do like over there, because he's just kind of a goofy.
I was surprised that he went there.
Yeah.
Like, very surprised.
Anyway, sorry, Raf.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I don't know if I would say I'm surprised or not. I don't think that he would have went for the money. I think that he seems like a guy who's always just carved his own path and has done things that, that most people wouldn't do just because that's how he is. Yeah. I mean, look at his style of play. Like he plays like nobody else in golf, really. And so it doesn't shock me at all. Dustin's got a really good point here, which we kind of just covered. But he said LIV Golf's presence has made the PGA Tour up their product and treatment of players dramatically. These elevated events are wild.
Yeah, I agree. The fields in these tournaments are nuts. Like last weekend's field was insane for the waste management. Like, does Rory ever play there? I don't think so, eh?
Yeah,
his first time. Yet, but like that was his first time, man.
I would think so too.
He's so sick, by the way.
Do you
I was
like him?
watching. I was actually watching him on. Couldn't have been watching it Sunday. Whatever round. No, it might have been Friday. They were just absolutely pumping his tires, man.
Rory?
It was after the rain delay. Was that Saturday morning?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's when I was watching it. Yeah. Before we went fishing, I was watching the golf, and he's just so sick to watch. Like he could birdie every hole, and not many guys on tour are like that.
He is. He's very impressive to watch. Reggie, if you got to go on a date with either Claude Giroux or Rory, who would you pick?
Rory. I'm off, Claude. No, I'm not. I shouldn't say that.
Is Claude still in Florida?
Yeah.
No, he's in Ottawa.
Or Ottawa, sorry. I actually like Ottawa. TBH. That's
You
probably
got
the team.
fucking 7 teams that you like. So
No, I
that's
like
not surprising.
Ottawa and Buffalo to watch, honestly.
All right. Back to the Wasted Open. Okay, did you guys find it weird that Harry Higgs was such a big part of it last year and then didn't get an invite this year? Like, you got to make sure that guy's there, right?
Or they didn't like it.
But I mean, it was him and Joel Damon, right? Like that were creating all the antics, and Joel was back.
Yeah.
Joel
Joel
didn't take his shirt off, did he?
Yeah, he didn't take it off. He had it up. No, Joel took his off, and Harry just pulled the belly out.
Oh,
I
okay.
totally forgot about that, man.
Right?
I honestly think that was crazier than the streaker this year.
For sure it was. But the streaker's hilarious.
Okay.
Because they
didn't
didn't that
catch-
whole green with beer cans too, right?
Yeah. They didn't catch that streaker for like 45 minutes.
He must have been so tired, man.
Oh,
He was just running
I don't know how he
everywhere.
didn't drown. Like, because he
Wow.
went down he went down like the next hole, jumped
Yeah.
into the lake, and then was climbing on the waste management symbol.
It was unreal. Like if you've been there, like how much like he carried or covered a lot of ground too to start at 16 and then get like, he was just everywhere, man.
But also the volunteers there, like they're the old Thundersticks or whatever the hell they're called. Like those guys are all 75 minimum. They're not going to do dick all.
The guys in the blue jackets.
Yeah, tried to kick us out.
When we were yelling, "Where's Charlie?" to Morgan Hoffman.
Yeah, that was at Morgan Hoffman, eh?
Yeah,
Did you guys catch Morgan on the episode?
I was just
last
gonna
night?
ask. Was he on there?
Yeah, briefly for like 1 second.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was him, anyways.
Has he been playing? I totally forgot about him till just now.
No,
Yeah.
I think he's pretty much wrapped her up. But do you remember at the start of last season, like he was trying to make a comeback?
He's done.
Yeah. Well, he had 3 exemptions still,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but he used them all up last year.
I don't remember honestly. I know that he did one.
A girl comes up before him, so he must not be playing anymore.
And quick shout out.
Did you see?
No,
Sorry,
go
just
ahead.
quickly on the streaker. Did you see like where like he had the 19th hole pointed down to his asshole? That's all from the 93 streaker at the Open Championship that John Daly won. That's such a good golf photo where the streaker's in the background and John Daly's making out with his wife after the
Unreal, actually.
But that guy was bare butt. This guy had some gitch on at least.
Was that real? Like that wasn't photoshopped?
The John Daly one?
No, the one this weekend.
Well, that's what was on him.
Really?
Mm. Yeah.
Pretty good
Good on
stuff.
him.
Yeah.
Huge shout out to Big Dick Nick. Did you guys hear the crowd chanting that?
Yeah. So good.
That was when Nick was like 1 stroke behind and right there. And I think that might have even have been 16 when he was chipping right before Scotty drained the bomb on him and basically ended his round. But T2 he got, right?
Yeah.
That's a big payout.
Was it T2 or just
something.
2?
I think he was just solo.
Just
Oh.
solo second. So he got
I thought
a
he
huge
was T2.
payment, man. I think it was like 2.2
Yeah, it was like
mil.
2.6 or something like that. It was like $2 million more than he made last year.
Anybody catch
Huge. huge shout out to Nick and his coach, our boy Di.
Hell yes.
Should we try to get Nick on the show sometime, or is that out of reach?
I listened to him on a couple interviews this week too, so I don't think we're in his stratosphere. Yeah.
Not anymore. Maybe before the tournament.
Hey, yeah, I don't know. You know what I was gonna say?
Did you guys know that he was the number one ranked amateur in the world at one point?
Really?
Yeah. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I came across that this week.
Fact check him, Rob. Rob's in the chat tonight. Good to see you, buddy. Robbie's making his way out to Rossman Lake this weekend too. Making my way downtown. Faces pass.
Oh, did you see Graham DeLatte's tweet?
Walking fast. Faces pass.
Kind of. I can't remember it though. I knew it was going to be a topic. Back to Nick
Deletty.
So a couple of the interviews I heard him talking. So the COVID year and since then had really kind of hampered his game quite a bit, and he couldn't really explain it. He said, but it did take an effect to his game, as well as kind of having a young family at home. So he said, like, he's kind of got everything settled, and he can focus more on just completing his golf game now. So it seems like he's certainly on the right track given this event. So hopefully this is kind of just a flash in the pan, and these are on to bigger and better things for Big Dick Nick.
Well, it's a good weekend when you jump into the top hundy for sure.
Okay, I had a really cool tweet from Kyle Porter just on the Nick Taylor subject.
Fact check.
CBS.
Drums was correct.
Yeah. It says one. Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was pissed at that tweet. Go ahead and read it.
Which one?
From CBS guy?
It's just, no, this might be a different tweet then.
Okay.
It says one thing Noel laying up and I were discussing on the range last week is that we wish there was a better way to contextualize or communicate how good the Nick Taylors of the world are at golf, because it would enhance how freakish the Roms and Schefflers are. Like if Nick Taylor went out to your club, or any club for that matter, he would absolutely abuse everyone in sight, and yet he's almost looks impotent in the presence of top 10 players in the world. Maybe we should just let a +1 or +2 handicap play every tournament just for context.
That was the tweet I was talking about.
Really? You don't like that?
I liked everything up until he said that Nick Taylor looked impotent out there.
Impotent, sorry.
Which means you can't get an erection.
Really?
I don't think that's the solo definition of it, but
what was he meaning in that context then?
He was meaning
he can't do anything against folks.
Really good.
I mean, that's true.
But like it does look that way at points that nobody can touch some of those players. If they're firing.
I wouldn't say that Nick Taylor looked impotent whatsoever. He held his ground right till the end. Like
I think you're missing the point of the tweet.
But
like it's not to call him impotent or shit on him at all.
But
he also said that Nick Taylor looked impotent out there. So that's like that's an insult. I mean, you can say what you want, nice, but then you say he looks impotent on a Sunday at the Waste Management. Like,
yeah, but I could see what he's saying too. Is just that like,
okay, let's look up what the fuck impotent means.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Cam said Hadwin wasn't too shabby either. Yeah, was he top 10 too?
Okay, so impotent is defined as unable to take effective action. Helpless or powerless. So by definition, it is exactly what he just said.
Maybe he could have
used the correct word.
Abnormally unable to achieve a sexual erection is number 2.
Yeah, so there's 2 definitions of it, but he did use the correct word. He wasn't trying to fuck them. No, he was trying to beat them, but he was utterly powerless to do so.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I don't think that he was utterly powerless. Like Scheffler,
he was. He did everything in his power to beat him, and he didn't win.
I don't agree with that, though. It's not like Nick Taylor was like up there and he blew a lead and like fell off the face of the earth. Like he was right there to the last hole.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It takes away from the tweet for sure.
I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Like
I saw you
just
tweet
feel like
that. I just see your tweet now.
he could have left that out. Yeah, I responded to it.
Did you see what Trevor Immelman said?
Nope.
A player like Nick Taylor is the best player at club times a million. Out of all the golfers in the world, these are the top 200. It always fascinates me how pro golfers are underrated. It is true. I bet you we'll see that in this. I bet you we'll see that in this docu-series. Like it's gonna be.
Should we get to that?
Yeah, but first of all, Canada, 5 players in the top 100.
What up?
And that's without Pendrith. Right? That's without Pendrith in there.
Very true. So we got. I'll run it down here. Number 37 ranked in the world is Corey Connors. 53rd ranked in the world is Mackenzie Hughes. 63rd is Adam Hadwin. 67th is Adam Svensson. And now 73rd is Nick Taylor. So we get a couple good weeks from Pendy as well. We will have 6 in the top 10. I'm thinking in no time. Do you know what he's ranked right now, Reg?
Yeah, 112.
He'll sneak in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's cool to see. I think there was 5 at one point last year. Or was it 4?
Yeah, I think Pendrith and Nick swapped out.
Yeah, I think so. I think there was.
It was 5 last year too.
Yeah, on one of our episodes.
Probably wrong, but
Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me which the top 5 were right now without seeing that post, I would have guessed that Pendrith was in there.
Mm-hmm.
I also love Trevor Immelman, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
He seems like a beauty. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Got an email about the President's Cup today or yesterday. Did you guys get that?
You got
tickets? Did we get what do you call it? Media passes?
I think we should. We've had a podcast for a year or 2. We'll probably get it.
Yeah, we should.
No? Oh, actually, speaking of that, we'll get into that a different day.
What?
Well, there was just a guy I follow on Twitter, and he said that how much his following has gone up in the last year. And he said, but his numbers before that took him 5 or 7 years or 10 years even maybe to get to that point. So basically the summary was don't quit. It's not easy to do, nothing good happens overnight.
True. So
couple comments here. Dusty said that's nasty and derogatory of a comment as a person could make to a guy. Cam says correct statement, but still douchey. So,
yeah,
I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. It was just the wording of it. I do appreciate what he was trying to say there.
Mm-hmm.
It just made Nick Taylor, it probably didn't make him feel that great. I wouldn't think.
No, that's true.
Should we touch on the Genesis or go to the Netflix special?
Yeah, just get the Genesis out of the way quick.
Yeah, because there's really not much to touch on, right?
Not much other than the big guys playing this week. We kind of touched off that off the hop. We got some amazing pairings the first 2 days.
Hell yeah.
We got Tig, Rory, and JT.
He's so sick.
Nuts.
I just hope he plays good.
We got Scotty, Spieth, and Morikawa. We got Big Rombo, Cantley, and Hovland. And then Max, Tom, and Xander. So some key pairings for the Genesis.
Tiger's out late on the first day, isn't he?
Do you guys believe what he says, or no?
Who?
Tiger.
Tiger's late tomorrow, early Friday.
Do you guys believe that he's saying that he wouldn't be here if he wasn't here to compete? Do you think he really is?
I think even we talked after the PNC was his game and swing looks decent. It's can he move around the golf course?
Right.
And by what he's saying is that he pretty well walks every day.
Wow, really?
And he can do it. So I think he did 16 holes today. I don't know if he did 18.
They're at 204 tomorrow. So you get
I got 304. I don't know.
I think that's Eastern. 20. Yeah. I'm at all good. That's exciting. I'll be watching.
So I guess it's in California, right? So we have later tee times. Love it.
Yes.
Love the late tee time.
That'd be good for Saturday night again.
Yeah, boy.
We mentioned this today, Drums. Me and Reggie were texting and said, imagine if Tiger's in the hunt on Sunday. Oh, you got to be back in Brown, though. I was going to say we could possibly do a live show with everybody in attendance. I mean, you could probably just stay here if that's the case, Drums. Like, get Dell to drive you back.
Very true. I don't know. List would go for that, but
no, but we won't rule it out fully. It's pretty special circumstances.
The ultimate arm twister. You're the ultimate Christmas Day. Yeah. Oh, you don't have to leave. Oh, you might as well stay here.
Okay, let's get to the big topic.
Oh,
it's finally here.
Also, though, California, Tiggy was checking out the future PGA Championship course in California as well. So, no, U.S. Open.
No, it'd be PGA.
Rob?
PGA first?
Yeah, I think PGA is first, but I think that the U.S. Open's there.
Really?
I don't know. Rob or somebody else fact check us. Let's talk about the Netflix special. Okay, you tell me what you guys thought, because I put a post on Instagram today, and 90% gave it the thumbs up. 90%. That's unheard of in polls. So the people seem to be liking it. What do you guys think?
I'm having a tough time when it explains stuff. I guess
that's understandable, though, right?
It was the same as F1, so they're trying to do the same when they are teaching it basically to people who have never watched golf before. Is who they're trying to attract. They're not trying to attract people like us, and they know we're going to watch it. But good call.
So what else, Reggie? That's it.
I think it's cool. It's going to be cool. I think it's a bad episode to base it off of, because I feel like if we've seen
I agree with you completely.
Inside of any golfers in the last 10 years, it's been JT and Spieth. So I kind of already knew that they were buddies like that, and that's kind of exactly how I would have pictured it to go if there was an episode with those two.
But hear me out here before you go on, because from a producer's point of view, you know that everybody's going to watch episode one regardless, right? Any golf fan and anybody else, they're watching episode one to check things out. So yes, get that one out of the way early, and then you keep people interested, because you know that one's probably the one that you've known the most about so far, and now you got to look ahead to the other ones. So that's kind of my alternate view on that, but keep going, Reggie.
Oh, it's going to get wild. That was I don't know. It's going to get a lot crazier than that episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd read and heard, I think Rob just pulled it up here too, that wasn't actually supposed to be the first episode. It was the Brooks. So the Brooks episode apparently is too sad. So Netflix came in and was like, no, we got to have another uplifting.
Too sad.
More uplifting episode to start things off. I think thumbs up or thumbs down. I'm a thumbs level on the episode. This episode's not for us. This episode is for the people that we're bringing in to the game. Like you said, establishing what a birdie is, what a par is, what the major events are. This is geared more towards the people that are unfamiliar with golf. At the same time, I felt like a lot of this was I don't want to say fake, but pushed. Everybody online's bringing up their phone call where and I agree. It looks like a commercial. It looks exactly like a commercial between the two. People are shitting on them for betting $1,000 for cutting decks. Fuck off.
Fuck off is right. That's exactly what I thought.
That's 100% what I would be doing if I was a millionaire, and you can't tell me otherwise. If you say otherwise, you're full of shit.
Plus, that's probably
relax on that.
That's probably much lower than actual.
For sure. Like they probably cut the deck for like whatever that trip was for another hour. So they burnt through a lot of money. But there were some good spots in it that I liked. I think that's all we're gonna get of Spieth. I literally think that's who Spieth is. Is just is kind of he maybe is kind of boring, but where JT's more like fiery and up and down, and you see that on that range session after the round at the PGA, yeah, PGA, right, where he's fucking furious and screaming and yelling at his dad, which was also like a cool part of the dynamic that I totally forgot that his dad was actually his coach as well.
Yeah,
Like
that's
that's gonna
so
be a
sick.
really hard thing on a relationship, both ways, like as a father-son relationship and as a coach.
It's
So
cool.
like it was awesome to see like that part of it. Big question for you guys. Do you think he had allergies or did he have
COVID.
COVID?
I thought COVID.
I thought COVID too. I thought COVID like at the time last year, and the theatrics of him going into CVS and getting meds was kind of like, did they push that? Did he push that? But I don't know. But I don't know.
That
I think
one,
it did set up for like a lot of good things down the road too. There were
that
some things
one,
that I didn't like, but overall,
like what?
still enjoyable.
Like the phone call you didn't like, obviously.
Like that's still that didn't really bother me, but I don't. They
It bothered
pushed
me.
this. I think like they pushed this rivalry between the two of them a little more than it actually is.
Yeah, that's production though.
Right. And but yeah, like that would be kind of my thing against it. Like, yeah, we know that Spieth came out of the gates super hot, and then JT was kind of slow burn. But uh, kind of going back to that tweet about Nick Taylor, I don't think the show did anything to highlight how good these guys actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
And maybe it will at some point, but this episode, anyways, it did.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I also forgot like how crazy that last round of the PGA was
Mhm.
I was
Me
gonna say
too.
that.
Yeah.
with Mito
Vito
kind of,
Pereira.
and he didn't really like shit the bed. He just didn't capitalize.
What?
Like
Did you
I don't
see him
think it was
swing?
like for sure, but I don't think like it was that outrageous where he was like this complete collapse, like it's the worst collapse in the history. Yeah,
No.
he
What?
did make a mistake for sure, but I don't think it was like as overblown as it was initially.
I honestly don't think that was a mistake, though. I think that's 100% somebody who's never been there before in the biggest spotlight in golf.
Yeah, mistake probably wasn't the right word, but yeah, like it got to him. But I wanted the show to
that swing
highlight
was
that, and
nuts.
highlight go into like how that fucked him up that bad.
I
That's what
think
happened to him.
Drums. I think that that was the tournament they've talked about a lot because Fitzpatrick was in there too. No, that was Zalatoris, and I think they actually because they were following JT that week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the PGA champion. That's what, the PGA championship was actually when they had 1, 2, 3 that they were following with cameras all week. So JT
Right.
was just
Back to
part
George
one of that week.
conspiracy theory.
So then, like that Mito is actually they did have cameras on him the whole week. That'll just be a different episode. Like in the F1 documentary, they had the same races over and over, but different views. Of it.
Yep, you're right.
So they actually have Pereira's view of that whole week.
Right.
Going
Yes,
into the
you're
final
right.
round, they have coverage of everything.
Because it's not chronological, right? It's based on the players.
Yes. So one spotlight will be about that. And they had all three of those guys from Wednesday to Sunday, like footage of them. So
we might get it.
Oh yeah, it's coming. That's what
That's
they said. They hit the gold mine on that tournament.
I mean, as a guy who does not like Justin Thomas, two things. His dad, I really liked.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Surprisingly liked him a lot. And also that comeback he made on the PGA was phenomenal. Like the shots he was hitting, the putts he was making. I mean, it's different seeing that kind of go along over a 4-hour time frame. But when you see it just like that, back to back to back, nuts. And especially with how down he was kind of leading up into that round. So for me, there was things like, like the phone call, just not necessary. Like, I just don't know why that fit in there at all. Like, JT's like, oh, look, it's Jordan calling me right now. Like, he didn't know what he was going to. Like, and then
as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, for fuck.
Yeah, that sucked.
And things like, Rory was in the gym there. Like, they have that mobile gym that they have there, right? And Rory was in there, which I believe he's there every weekend. But he's like, yeah, it's never been more busy in here before. So you kind of get the sense that guys knew that they were getting called around.
Here's what I was going to say. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't know if it was on JT who just wanted to go work out because there's cameras on him, or if Netflix was like, hey, go work out. We're here. We need some footage of you other than talking to Jordan about your wedding party.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think some of it will be elevated, but I would imagine those guys still hit the gym. Like, I think it's just an elevation because there are cameras beside you.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to say was, you actually reminded me. It completely slipped my mind, and then it came back when you said that. It's funny to me how, and it's in all the mental tips you read about golf and everything like that. But like, these guys spend so much time on their game, and then I go out on fucking Tuesday for the first time I've golfed in a week, and I think every shot's just going to be good because I've had good rounds before and my handicap's low, that I'm just going to have a good round. And I don't go to the gym. I don't do anything to prep mentally. I get off work, I go home, make a sandwich and grab 2 beers and go to the golf course. And it's just magically going to be, I'm going to have a good round. And then you see what these guys do in the gym and the access that they have to all this stuff and the mental coaches and everything like that. And you wonder, like, why you're shitty. But then you realize why you're shitty when you see stuff like that, right? Is that not, I don't know, is that fair?
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's fair.
Like, we beat ourselves up for our golf games, but we don't do, like, Jor, you've spent a lot of time on your game in the last 2 years, and it's paid off like crazy, hey? Like, you've golfed a lot in the last couple of years. Lots of it's been under the influence of liquor, but
yeah, like I literally go from work to the tee box.
Yeah,
right. And you wonder why
and I wonder why I can't golf, and then I'm fucking belligerent by hole 6. So like, there's no room to get things sorted out either. What
is your handicap? Yes, yes, I am.
I know, but I know exactly what you're saying, Reggie. Like, if somebody at our level actually took the time to practice properly, read books like you have there, work on course management, set some goals, write them down, get into the gym, up your cardio a little, because that cardio is a big part of golf, actually, and I think it's under appreciated in a sense.
Flexibility too.
My laptop's gonna die here, I think, so you might lose me, but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, and I hope that they do showcase a little bit more of how good they are, like you said, Drums, and I'm really looking forward to what the next couple episodes are going to be like. And I was pleasantly surprised how the episode ended versus how it started, because the first 5 or 10 minutes into it was about Spieth, it was about Thomas, guys who have heard the whole story before. They're having fake phone calls. They're talking about what a par is, what a bogey is. But you're right. I think that was just episode 1. And they went through the exact same stuff with the F1 for people like us who are unfamiliar about the terminology and shit like that. So I love it. I don't know when I'll get to the other episodes, because apparently Netflix doesn't allow you to have multiple accounts anymore. What is that? Like,
so you can, like, does it pop? If it pops up on your screen, you can still cancel out of it and still access Netflix until the 21st. Until the 21st, and then they're going straight up
on it.
The 21st. I'm gonna have to binge that show.
But the Americans already abandoned it. Like, American Netflix, yeah, because everybody was like, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna cancel my account," and they were like, "Oh, just hold up, don't act drastic."
I thought that was going to happen, actually.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. But
Netflix
yeah,
must be hurting
that's
for they must be hurting financially if they're doing shit like that. That's not something that a comfortable company does.
I don't think they're hurting financially, but they are hurting for programming because every other like station or company has their own streaming service now. Like HBO, like they're not going to get an HBO show, they're not going to get an ABC show, they're not going to get an NBC show now because they all have their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to add new programming, they have to spend their money.
Right. Which is
no, they have to make it. They have to make it, right?
That's where the Netflix originals come from.
Right.
There are some good ones, I think.
Which is cool. Yeah, I like that about them. Okay, quickly. Dusty said JT and Spieth's wives are very refreshing as they're genuinely there to support and lift up their husbands versus the other wives who seem to be there for alternate agendas. I did notice that actually. I was surprised with I wasn't sure what kind of wife JT would have. I've never seen her before or anything, but I was for the 10 seconds I saw her on there, I was impressed.
I don't know. She was there for 2 seconds.
Rob said episode 7 looks like it's going to be Mito based. Mito Pereira. He sounds like a Ferrari driver.
Yeah,
he does.
F1 guy.
So at least what should we cover next week? What should we?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Two at least.
If we're going to be booted off the account, so me and Reggie might have to.
I'm not on Dad's actually. I'm on Easton's parents.
Dad's. All right, let's see. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can knock out for like Monday or something.
Maybe shoot for 2 and 3.
Okay.
I feel like even episode 1 we had enough to talk about for a whole episode. So yeah, go 2 and 3, and we can kind of catch up on it. Let's skip the walk-up tunes tonight. We had probably 10 people write in. Some good ones. We'll maybe put another post out next week and
postpone.
Just say we didn't have enough time, and maybe we'll take like the top 3 and play them or something. I don't know. But we're already at 116. So let's get to our segments. What do you got tonight, Reggie? What is on the docket for the Stroke Saver?
Mine is a rule by Tiger Woods. It is another go figure, another mental tip. It's called the 10-yard rule. So after you hit your shot, you can curse, you can do whatever the hell you want. You can be very upset about it. You can fucking break a club over your knee if you want. But after you walk 10 yards or drive 10 yards from where you hit the shot, it's gone. That shot's gone. And he swears by it. I was looking up all kinds of tips over the last week or two, so I got a whole arsenal now. But
nice.
That was one of my favorite ones. So a 10-yard rule. So basically, yeah, you hit a shot, you can be mad. You could bang the club, you could do whatever the hell you want, but when you get 10 yards away from where you hit the shitty shot from, forget about it. And that's a good way to go, I would say.
It is, because there are times on the course where there's a lot of built-up frustration there, and sometimes it just feels really good to swear or throw a club or something like that. Not recommended, but sometimes it's needed.
Right.
And I feel like Tiger's the perfect lead by example of that, because we've seen Tiger do a lot of things right after a golf shot, like on the tee. But you never see him dwelling on things, right?
Never.
Speaking of that, how good was Max's club toss out of the bunker?
Holy shit!
That
had to have hit like 200 miles an hour, man. Like that thing was humming. Didn't break. That's a durable club. Was that one of the ones? Was that one of the clubs that we had? What was your idea, Char?
The indestructible club.
The indestructible club. Like he hummed that thing, man. Holy shit.
That's a good one, Reggie. I think that a lot of people will probably, hopefully, implement that into their game, because
just try it.
Yeah, just try it out. And
it's one of those things. Just try to think about it on the way to the course.
So mine's going to tie perfectly into that, and maybe I'll get to that. Why am I so blurry? Or am I hammered?
Are you? Are we? Are we hammered? Are the 2 cups in front of you like on the Mad commercials?
Yeah.
There we go. Wasn't it funny that Tiger Wasn't it funny that Tiger wasn't in the PGA special, but he was in there more than like most people who were in there?
There he is. Yeah, it was. I was like, how many clips of Tiger are they going to show throughout this thing without him being in it?
Good
And
to see
how many people are going to reference Tiger as why they learned how to golf?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's going to be so much that I bet.
Okay, Drums, I'll go ahead of you tonight because mine ties in with Reggie's.
Nice.
What I've been working on, last week I talked about a new app called the Fountain app, and I'm hoping that some people at least downloaded, tried her out. It's an app where it's basically exactly like your normal podcasting apps, your Spotify, your Apple Music, the exact same thing, except you listen to podcasts on there and you get streamed Bitcoin or Satoshis for every minute you listen to, up to 60 minutes per day. The amounts differ. I was actually earning 500 sats per minute on the weekend.
Holy shit.
Drums?
I have a question on that. So like if you use like the search on the app, there's a lot that isn't available there. But like somehow you can like sync it with like your Apple Podcast app and you can listen to like the other ones on there too. I just don't know if you get paid that way. I don't know. My phone all of a sudden it just started like syncing up, and then all the podcasts that I listened to on my Apple Podcast app were available on Fountain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be big.
Yeah.
Big if true.
I don't know that you get. I don't know that you get paid from those ones. I haven't gotten that far into it, but yeah, app seems cool.
No, I think you would. But I
don't know, like if they're like officially on the Fountain app, I don't know that you get paid from. But
interesting. Anyways, what I was going to say here is that you should download it for sure because it's the best way to get some free Bitcoin for listening to shit you already listened to. But the coolest part about the app for me that I've noticed so far is that you can actually make clips. Okay, so I went in, we synced up the Kngdom podcast on there. So if you're listening to this on YouTube or Spotify, you should try it out on Fountain. Just search the Kngdom on there. It'll pop right up. So what I was doing was within my profile, I actually downloaded all the transcripts for the episodes, and then you can actually clip them. So you can go in there you can select parts of the podcast that you want to highlight, that you want to be included in your clip easily. And then you can highlight stuff to cut it out of there. So basically what I've been doing since I discovered this Fountain app is I've been trying to get one of Reggie's stroke savers on there, at least one per day. So I think I'm on like episode 7 right now, but I'm just cutting out clips of all Reggie's stroke savers on there. And you can search for them. And I think that, hopefully I'll get up to, we took a break on the stroke savers for probably 20 episodes or something, but there'll be a huge playlist of these clips of just specifically Reggie's stroke savers, which, if you're heading to the golf course and or you're struggling with your putting, your driver, your chipping, you can just search Kngdom and then, or Reggie and putting, or Reggie and driver, whatever it is. Like, it's just basically Reggie's 1 or 2 minute clip. And just even good refreshers like that. And also I had a few other clips, like Marty was talking about business networking within golf and some tips for that. So I threw that in a separate playlist aside from the stroke savers. So it's pretty cool. I think that it's just the very early stages of all this. It's a brand new app. There are some glitches and some weird shit going on in there, but I think that this is going to be the future. And I think that, if this is something that you're interested in, definitely go check it out. And I'm going to have all of Reggie's stroke savers on there. I'll have some other clips that I come across while I'm listening for these. And it'll be really cool to have them all in one spot. And you can actually download them also. So we're going to start putting the audio within video. We did a sample on that of TikTok yesterday. So I didn't even tell you guys that, but so you're hearing this for the first time, and so is everybody else. I think it'll be really cool to have that all in one spot.
And so you can just get the playlist like searching the podcast too. Like it's all within, how you click on a podcast and it's like episode 115 down. That's included in there. Like it's a separate episode.
No, I don't think it is, because I set up my initial profile for Silverstone, and then I synced up the podcast through that. But it has nothing to do with that. But then it's just my profile. I'm creating all these clips on there, so I don't know exactly how that works. But
Did you
guys
add
want
me
to
on
check
there?
it out. Pardon me?
Did you add them on there?
Yep.
I'll just download it quick here and see how it's laid out.
So that's that. And so what I wanted to say is that all these are going to be on there, for one. But you can also, one more aspect of this is that, if Drums listen to a lot of whatever, Toronto Maple Leafs podcasts, and he listened to a guy who talked about all the games, and he did one specific segment that he liked in there. Drums could actually go to that podcast, download the transcript, cut out a clip, put it on his profile, and then if people like that, Drums gets a portion of the sats for that. So it's a really cool way. Pardon me? It's a really cool way to, if you're not an actual like content creator in a sense, you can like find the best of other people's stuff and create playlists based on the best parts of their episode.
Other people's?
Yes.
Holy.
And then so they'll get a portion of if somebody likes that, I think it's like 10 sats or something gets sent to each, something like that. Really cool.
It'd be like a retweet.
Except you're getting paid.
You get paid if it takes off.
Correct.
Huh.
And things like this, it's very early, as I said, and this is the time to get in on these type of things because, as more and more people come, there's more noise, less signal, and it's harder to really get any sort of traction on there. So I really wanted to share this with everybody in hopes of them, if that's something they're interested in, they actually don't even have to create shows. They can just find shows that they like and create their own clips and playlists off of that and earn a little bit of Bitcoin in the meantime. So super cool stuff. And it's early days. So lots of
I just found it here. There's nothing in the library, but I think
search
library.
There's Kngdom clips by Silverstone.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Do you see them there?
Yeah.
So you can just search for those?
Well, if you type in Kngdom, then they're under Kngdom clips, but they're by Silverstone, not King Golf.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll just change my username then. That'll be easy.
Yeah, or there's got to be a way you could tie them onto the page, but
I initially just downloaded for Silverstone, so that's obviously why I made that name. And then I realized we could do clips, and I was like, this is exactly what I've been waiting for, to do all Reggie's stroke savers in one spot and super easy to do.
Right.
So really cool. Anyways, sorry, that was a lot of time, but I think it's worth talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Drums,
you doing Culture Corner tonight, or you see this?
It's a you see this. I'll keep it pretty short here because we got a long one here.
It's not going to change whether you keep it short or drag it out. We're already an hour and a half in.
I think this is actually an old post, but I just came across it recently. And there's also a video that coincides with it, but it's from Golf Digest, and it is, how does marijuana affect your golf game? So I think we kind of covered, they did booze before as well, and I think we covered this a long time ago. So essentially the same thing. They take a high, a medium, and a low handicap, shovel a bunch of weed into them, and see how they perform. So they start off, they do 5 drives, 5 approach shots, 5 putts. So the drives and approach are the average between the 5 shots, and then how many putts made from the 5 feet out of 5. I think it's from 6 feet or something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, so they start sober, kind of establish what their bases are. Go up to 6 milligrams. And then 18 milligrams, and then 34 milligrams, and then we get into the 50. So the boys are buckled by the end of this.
50 milligrams?
Video. Yeah.
Holy
I mean, like
shit.
6 is nothing. It's just like or what is it? 6 or 8? It's just like a hit off the vape pen. I think when you get to like the 34, you're more.
I thought you meant like edibles.
They shared a joint. No, like they were smoking.
Oh, okay. So it's not like
Yeah, they're
Wouldn't it
not
be the
I was
popping
same
like
thinking like
though?
a 50-gram
50
edible,
mg, yeah, edibles. Yeah, no, they'd be
like
on the.
swimming on the cart. Like,
Yeah, exactly. They'd be crawling down the
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like,
fairway.
could they even swing? I didn't watch it.
No, I think it's actually probably better to watch the actual video than even listen to my dribble out of my mouth. So I think the boys kind of hit their honey pot around the middle at the 34 milligrams. They all had their highest average drives and the best putt made ratio at 34 milligrams. So there's something to it.
Man,
I'm on board.
I'm gonna say this. Sorry if Mom and Kim are listening, but there's a pocket that you can get into that is untouchable sober golfing.
Do you? Yeah. Do you get it more from booze or elsewhere?
Elsewhere. And booze,
Yeah, I'm
though. I've
booze.
been absolutely dialed
I'm booze.
a few times, but
I say
I need like
for sure booze as well.
yeah, I need like 5 drinks and then I'm good. I think that's when like the shakes stop, so that definitely helps. And usually there's probably a hit or two off the pen in those 5 drinks, so I'm kind of at my primo right there.
I feel like the liquor is also much easier to find that pocket. It's more wide. It's a bigger pocket for me. Anyways, I don't know. I try not to do the weed on the golf course. I don't know. It's just my thing, but I have for sure. And so I mean it's more something I'm probably not as used to as
What's going
is
on?
he talking and walking right now?
Now he's out of here.
I think his laptop must be dying. That's
Okay,
so
I don't
funny,
know.
man.
I don't know what just happened here.
He's still
Jordan might have
there.
peaced out.
He's still
Did you
there.
did I freeze for you?
No, it was just him talking like Stephen Hawking for like.
And then I looked at you. You didn't move, so I thought maybe you fell asleep or you
No,
were
I was
frozen
just
too.
like.
I thought it was me again. Yeah.
I was watching him to see like trying to, and then I was looking at you, but
The funny part is we can't even wrap up. Like we can't end this. It might
no,
have
we
ended with
can't.
him right there. We don't know.
It's still saying
Right?
live, so I mean, we might as well keep yapping. There is a spot though for sure. I shouldn't talk. We shouldn't talk about it too much on here, but there is a spot where.
Oh,
there
I'm
he is.
back.
Where the hell? What the hell? Are you on your phone?
No, I'm in the living room. My lappy died.
Yeah, that's weird.
oh, so you just changed the computer.
You started talking, and then you went like Stephen Hawking, and then all of a sudden you were standing up, leaving the room. Man, it was too much.
I was
And I
standing
thought
up.
I thought Reg was freezing too, so I was like, oh fuck, here we go. It's on me.
Yeah. Lappy died.
So, anyways, back to what we were talking about. We probably shouldn't touch on it too much on here, but I don't really give a shit. There is a pocket that you can get into, though, no doubt, more dialed on the dopes than the liquor.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying there has been rounds when I feel like I can't miss a shot ever again in my life on the dopes. But I'm not talking like just out of my face. Like there's
No, you're not
obviously
fucking crawling around, but
no.
Yeah.
But you just do get dialed, and you do get looser.
just feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's also pretty easy to abuse and get too used to, you know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It does help a guy like honestly, like myself, who is very, 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 very self-conscious about your own golf swing, and then you just kind of forget about that, I guess, when you're golfing, either drunk or other. Drunk helps too. You don't give a shit about it. It's tough. It's tough golfing sober though with a weird ass golf swing. I'll be honest about that. It is.
That's golf swing.
That's
Well,
funny though, because like
wrap the shit
you're
up,
unreal and you're self-conscious of your swing.
yeah, that's just how it is. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Reggie, your swing's fine. It doesn't matter about swings. It's all I don't know.
It's not about the size; it's how you use it, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. We're way over time here, boys.
That's
So
We're
all
way
right.
over time, yeah.
Who cares?
true.
People, if you don't like it, don't listen this long.
All right, hang up then. Yeah.
Okay. See you
Anyways,
boys in 2 days.
Couple days.
All right. We're out of here. We will convene with everybody next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. We will be here. We will see you then. Love you, boys. Later.
Episode 2 and 3 we'll be covering next week. Check her out. Love you, boys.
Good boys.
Peace.